We'll get started.
This is where it's nice to have music, though.
Nice introduction.
Yeah.
Okay, should be all good to go. You can welcome
Okay.
everybody in.
We have our participants are ticking up. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our first joint IT Training Fund orientation session. The Navigar team has been holding these for quite a while. We used to do monthly throughout last year, and we've now pivoted to quarterly and doing it jointly with Treasury Board so that you can get all the information that you need to use the IT Training Fund and get the most out of it. Um, so I'm just going to give a few minutes for everyone to join. We've got a lot of participants already, 124. I'll wait maybe 2 minutes and then I'll jump in with just how the session's going to work today and then throw to the presenters. Hope you're all having a good Wednesday. Wow, our numbers are ticking up very quickly. This is where it's good if I played guitar or something. I could have some music, but I don't. I have cats. I could go grab a cat, entertain you, but they wouldn't be happy. Um, I'll give it another minute and then we'll jump in. It slows down. And we have lots of people joining. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to start now because the number is slowing down. But we saw folks joining, so welcome. My name is Laura Ricci. I am part of the Navigar team, and I'm joined here today by Kyle Allen and Peter Atkinson. And Kyle will be presenting today, so I'm going to throw to him. Oh, actually, sorry. I have to give the ground rules. The chat is only open for the panelists, and that's where you'll see we're going to share the decks with you today. So if you want to follow along while we're presenting or download it for future reference, please do. And that's reserved for the panelists. All questions, please direct them to the Q&A, and we'll be in there answering them for you. So those are the main ground rules to start. Also, this is the English session. We have a French session next week. The other thing to know is the recording of the session will be sent to you and also uploaded to the Navigar website probably tomorrow. The same will be for the French session. And also all registrants will get a recording of the session sent to them. Okay, I'm going to go to Kyle now. Thank you.
And then just as well, we're joined by our colleagues from Treasury Board, and they'll introduce themselves when we pass over for their part of the presentation. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to walk everybody through all about the IT Training Fund and Navigar. So I just want to really get started first with a land acknowledgement. So we are here and are acknowledging with respect that the land we're gathering on is traditional unceded Algonquin territory. We're here based in Ottawa, and we are on unceded traditional Algonquin territory, and we appreciate the opportunity to live and to work here. So on the agenda for today, we're going to be looking at a few key points. So we're going to start off with what the IT Training Fund is all about, what it offers towards our members, the digital talent platform and everything that can provide for you, as well as some of the core features of Navigar and our training partners. And then we'll go into some of our FAQs and guide you to support. Again, this presentation was just shared to you there in the chat. You can follow along and also click on the links embedded in the presentation. So what is the IT Training Fund? It was a $4.75 million education fund that was used to help train the IT group. And it was bargained for as part of the last IT group's collective agreement. So this training fund was established as part of that bargaining process. However, the challenge was to take this money and take this training fund and actually make sure that was distributed meaningfully amongst all of the many IT group members. So one of the solutions that was found was Navigar, giving all IT group members on-demand access to the leading providers with over $1,000 worth of training value amongst the different provided training vendors, which we'll get into in just a little bit. So we also offer two different kinds of training. So the IT Training Fund has a lot of opportunity for you to actually get the different skills that you need to succeed. So it breaks roughly into two kinds of offerings. The first being Navigar and the other being Talent Canada, which is on the digital talent platform, which my colleagues will talk about more later. But generally speaking, the Talent Canada platform has much more instructor-led training. So this is synchronous. You're learning at the same time as the information is being presented to you, normally with an instructor involved. And we have a bunch of different partners for this kind of training underneath the digital talent platform. It's from Simon Fraser University to Global Knowledge, Ottawa U, and even the Canadian Centre for Cybersecurity all offer synchronous training opportunities. And the other big part of the Talent Canada platform is going to be the certifications and exam vouchers you can get from industry recognized certifications like PMP or different kinds of CompTIA or other kinds of certification programs that you might need in your career. But focusing more on the other kind of training available is through Navigar, which is provided to you from PIPS, that's your union, and it offers much more self-paced learning asynchronous. Now, there is live training options through our different vendors in a bunch of different ways. The majority of the training right now accessible through Navigar is going to be taken on demand at your own pace when it suits your schedule. And we have right now, our main vendors are Pluralsight, which is Skillsoft for Percipio, and GoFluent, which are bundled together with Skillsoft. So again, this is going to be having information on the instructor-led training as well as the vouchers and certifications. And this link will bring you right to that website platform and where you can learn more. So let's get a bit of an overview of what Navigar itself actually is. So it's a skills learning platform that gives you, our members, personalized training plans that link to both Skillsoft and CSPS training. We also have integration with specialized training providers like Pluralsight and GoFluent, allowing you to get recommended training through those providers as well. We have as well career recommendations and different kind of jobs that are going to be suggested to you based on the skills that you have in your current job and how you set up your profile when you first log into Navigar. And finally, all of this training is kept on a record of your achievements and having on a lesson plan that you can go back to, or on a learning plan you can go back to, that you can help demonstrate your progress and your training as outside of just a certification. So we have a bunch of different partners as part of Navigar who actually give you the training and give you the kind of industry best practices when it comes to online learning. So for when you're looking to get more growth in digital skills, let's say you want to get more creative, better management skills, better communication skills, a lot of this kind of training is available to you in the IT group through the Canada School of Public Service, which is going to be offering a lot of those management leadership type classes. Again, that's going to be only if you're a federal member, which is going to be important to make sure that's how your access is being given. If you're one of our provincial members, you won't have paid access to CSPS. But you will all have access to Skillsoft, which is named by Percipio, but mainly this program and this platform has a wide variety of online training. But one of the focus areas they have a lot of really good courses on is those more human skills, the ability to, like I said, communicate, to be conflict resolution, and have those kind of more career-focused skills. Then we've got the classic, the knowledge skills. You want to learn something specific, whether it's a software, whether it's the latest in hardware knowledge, or if it can even come down to straight up language training. If you need to get better at French or at English or any other language that's offered on the platform, that language training is available to you. And Pluralsight, again, has some of the industry's best opportunities when it comes to taking certifications, prep courses for some of the most in-demand software, whole sections on AI focus and how you can actually utilize that with your current workflows, and a lot more to be offered through Pluralsight. So when you're using Navigar, how should you expect the process to go? How should it actually serve you, and what steps are you going to expect when you use it? So everything starts with your account creation. When you log into Navigar for the first time, you're going to be picking your current job, or as close as you can get. We have thousands of jobs right now, but we're still adding more every single day from our members to make sure that we can get a role that's as close as we can to the one you're working right now. Once you set that current job, you're going to be focused on your target job. It's either a job that maybe you want to just get some more experience in your field and get promoted into. Maybe it's you want to change fields. You want to learn something entirely different. Setting that target job creates that connection between where you are today and where you want to go with your skills. Being able to see what gaps you have, where your issues are, and what training you might want to take to help close those gaps is one of the main things that Navigar does for you for our membership, to show you from where you are today how to get to where you want to be. And the way we do that is by taking in your member data from what we got from the federal government with your job descriptions and your job titles. We then combine that with Fathom data, who is taking the latest in job trend analytics and saying which roles right now are being automated, which roles are being augmented by different technologies like artificial intelligence, and saying what kind of skills are in demand and what positions are sort of falling by the wayside. So that way you have an understanding of where that job's position is going to be relevant for. And then finally, we're taking in all of our users' data from their experiences, from their usage in the platform, from the training that they're taking, and it all feeds back in to our insights that we're providing you, giving you those training and career insights, helping you along with that journey. All that information gets synthesized into a learning plan that gives you a recommendation of different kind of courses you can take and what kind of skills you should focus on when it comes to skill development inside of Navigar. And then finally, once you've taken that training, once you've taken those courses, you can go back and update or have it be automatically updated inside your training record that you can then take, print, and show off to whoever, or even just put on your fridge. Now that we've talked a little bit about the experience, about how it kind of feels to go through it, we're going to talk a little bit about how you actually access our training vendors, because sometimes it's not the straightforward process that you'd want it to be. So when you're looking to access Precipio and GoFluent, because they are bundled together, you're going to access them the same way. Once you logged into Navigar, you've put your account information in, and you're scrolling on the website, one of the training courses you'll probably be recommended is going to be one from Skillsoft, from Precipio. What you do is that once you've clicked on that, you'll be launched into a new browser where you'll be asked to essentially complete your account creation for Precipio, for Skillsoft in specific. So this way it means that you're going to be able to access directly into their website. And then once you're through on that position, you'll be able to get your account created and log into Precipio. Once logged in, you'll see a big banner on the front of the page where you'll be able to see GoFluent. And you'll go through a similar process where you click on it, you'll input your email that you use for Navigar as well as a password you choose, and your account will be created for GoFluent. And from there, all it's there is just to start taking training. And I also just want to say that we'll be having a chance at the end of our presentation to go through any kinds of questions, or you can feel free to put them right into the QA now and get some answers from some of our other presenters. So Pluralsight, this is another one that's a bit tricky, and it has a couple of steps to make sure you actually get not only access, but the premium license as well. So once you created your Navigar account and you logged in, Pluralsight, as long as you use a personal email and not a work email, you'll basically get right away automatically sent 2 emails from Pluralsight. The first one is essentially the account creation steps. Similar to Skillsoft, you're verifying your email address and you're creating the account inside Pluralsight. However, it's the second email you get from Pluralsight that is titled, Pips has invited you to join Pluralsight and open for fresh skills. This is the link that's going to give you the active premium training. Some of you may have encountered when you're trying to access Pluralsight, even if you've made an account using your Navigar email, you'll still be prompted to pay for Pluralsight. Never pay for anything on this platform when you're with the IT group. That's what this training fund is for. So you do not have to pay. You should not try to enter any details. And instead, you should just reach out to us at our support page and we can resend you this second email with that link to get your information started if you've had it expire, which is, it expires about 15 days once you've had that first email go out. So let's say you made a Navigar account a while ago, you never really logged into it. Well, chances are to get into Pluralsight today, you're just going to need to reach out to us on support, and I'll talk about that just a little bit later. So now we're going to get a little bit into those frequently asked questions, because as you can see, it's a little bit of a process to make sure you're inside of our training vendors once you've made your Navigar account. So some of our most asked questions are just listed here. So when you're creating your account, obviously you're in the IT group, you need to make sure that your information is up to date. But if it is already, all you need to do is head over to app.navigar.ca and log in, on that login page, select create your account, put in your email address, and then go on from there. Okay. Then from here, we're going to go into the updating of the email position. So if you have a personal email on file, you're going to be required to use Navigar. So to add your information, we have a new website with pips that you're going to be able to go to, and you can edit the contact details. Please allow for 5 minutes for this data to update. And once it's updated, you can go and then create your account. As I mentioned with Pluralsight, it's all about making sure that you've updated with a personal email first, then logged into Navigar, then check your email account for those links. And if you can't have any access there, reach out to us on support. And then for training access, if you encounter any other issues or with our partners, logging into Pluralsight, logging into Skillsoft, and your credentials aren't working, a lot of the time, all you need to do is just come in and reset your password and go from there. Okay, and then now for the Navigar contact page, we have both a support page as well as training sessions and short videos, and contacting us as well. Now I'm going to say we're updating our information all the time. We're adding new information to our FAQ page and to our support page. So if you can't find an answer to anything on our support page, please contact us directly. And as well, inside the presentation that I've linked, there is a survey. So if you've already been using Navigar and you've already had some experience with it, we'd love to hear back from you, and we have got a survey for you to complete.
Hi, sorry to interrupt. We just did a back-end test of the QA because there were no questions coming through, and it hasn't been turned on.
Oh,
so Peter's going to see if he can fix it or if you can. So we're like, curious. We're not getting any questions.
Sorry about that,
we have a lot of questions.
Questions now. If we would try and check the QA again, I believe it's just been enabled.
Okay. And don't worry, we've got plenty of time, folks.
There we go.
And where can we access the slides? So in the chat, the links are provided to the slides.
We'll also as well. Sorry.
Is the chat open to everybody or just us, Laura?
No, the chat's open to everyone. Oh, sorry. The chat is, they can see the chat. They can't write to the chat.
Great.
And the unable to access the deck can either provided by email. I think Kyle will be able, we'll be able to send out, what we'll do is we'll send out the deck with the recording.
Yes, that'll be followed up as well with all the presentation material as well. If you can't access it from the link, if there's having problems there, but we'll also, before the session ends, when we switch back over, I'll double check that link, make sure it works, and I can send over another one before the session ends.
I'm just going to answer some questions verbally now since we're at the end.
Yeah, it's a great
in terms of how many dollars are left in the IT training fund. So the fund is used in full. Last year was the first full year of the fund. And as per the collective agreement, funds can't be carried over. So it's used in full each year. And there's a division. There's obviously the portion that covers the vendors, so GoFluent, Pluralsight, and Skillsoft. And then there's a portion that goes to instructor-led training. So in terms of what's left for the year, I would say nothing, because there's a budget done at the beginning of the fiscal year that allocates all the funds. So hope that's not too verbose, but that's the way it is. So again, regarding the deck, we'll share it with the recording. And then there's a question between, I'm able to log into Navigar Pluralsight, but no luck with GoFluent. So GoFluent you access through Skillsoft. When you activate your Skillsoft account, there's a banner on that home page that you click through to, and that gets you to GoFluent. Is there any interest in onboarding new vendors to Navigar? Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, this fiscal year has been locked in, as well as the planning for the next fiscal year, so going to December 2027. But what we'll be doing this year is going back out to different vendors and exploring what the different options are. I'll leave the vouchers for Microsoft exams to the Treasury Board team. What month is the new budget set? It's government fiscal year, so April 1st to March 31st. Do I need to use, you need to use a non-work email. And the reason is because Pluralsight in particular, you can't activate a Pluralsight plan if the email you're using is linked to any live or past plan. So even if it's inactive. And since a lot of the federal government departments use Pluralsight for training, we wanted to make sure that your work email was reserved for departmental training, and this was your personal training. So if you've already activated with a personal, if you're already activated with the work email, just reach out to support and you'll get sorted. So, and I think I've got all the questions. Apologies again for not having the QA enabled. Someone had a question that I was scanning about the difference between the vendors. Did I imagine that?
No, I answered that one, Laura.
Oh, you answered it? Well, you know what? I'll answer it verbally because I think it's a
Sure.
good question for everyone to hear. So Skillsoft is growth and technical skills. So there's going to be IT training there. It's going to be more, it's going to be less advanced than Pluralsight, but there is IT training there. In fact, we see that our members have done a lot of technology training. Its real value proposition are the growth skills. So communication, leadership, creative thinking, but there is technical skills there as well. Go Fluent is language training, and then Pluralsight is IT technology training, and you're going to have from beginner to advanced. So that's sort of about it in a nutshell, the different training providers. What do if I do if I'm unable to create an account on Navigar login? Reach out to support, and we'll sort you out and figure out what the issue is. So if you go to that page, Kyle, yeah, so you'll see we have support. Nope, if you go to the previous page, yeah. Support. Just reach out to us there and we will help you out. Will Navigar be open to other classifications? By that, I think you mean to other groups, member groups. So this is for the IT group, IT training fund. There's a couple of things happening in parallel. So we will be releasing Navigar to all members this summer. Of course, the training will not be paid for. We've negotiated special rates for our members. So that's one stream. The other stream is for, I am actively meeting with other member groups who are looking at replicating this model. So negotiating a training fund in their collective agreement so that Navigar or other training can be leveraged for their members. So that's something if you're interested in, you should reach out to your membership executive, and that's something that they would take care of. We are working the Navigar pilot side of our work email. Should we contact support? Yes, contact support so that you can get sorted. I wouldn't want that to impede your access to any of the training. How do new vendors get added? I think I addressed that, but it's essentially at the onset, and I think Isa was part of it as well, of this training fund. We had like negative time to basically ramp this up with getting the vendors and the platform and also the instructor led all sort of ready to go. So we already had Skillsoft was already integrated into Navigar. The platform is very much focused on the learning plans are very much focused on growth. There's digital as well, but it's very much focused on growth skills. And we already had not worked with Pluralsight because we weren't integrated yet, but we already had a relationship established with Pluralsight as a vendor. Also knowing that Pluralsight's very much sort of the most commonly used IT online training vendor, we thought the familiarity of working with a vendor that was already well known would also be really beneficial. They also gave us an amazing rate. And so that was where we kicked off. We kind of were like, what do we have? Let's go. And now that we've completed the first full year, our agreements were negotiated to span 2+1, so the duration of the collective agreement. But now we're going to be looking out at other vendors. I've already had some preliminary meetings, but that will be something that's ongoing. Isa, what would you like to add?
Yeah, maybe I'll just add the context. I don't know if this question was specific to self-paced training or instructor-led training vendors get added,
Good point.
but maybe I'll just mention the fact that the IT Training Fund is jointly managed and governed through a joint consultation committee, which has equal representatives from the union and from the government of Canada. So the employer and the union working together to decide how the money's being used, what are the priority training areas, and the vendors, the training partners that we lean on for both self-paced and instructor-led. So we do have that consultation committee where new training providers can be considered every year. And mainly it's where do we have gaps? So if you do see training gaps that you're interested in particular areas, but you're not seeing it in the vast training that you have access to, let us know either through the PIPS team, the Navigar team, or on our side, we'll be sharing our iCommunity email address. Let us know, and we're going to be happy to look at some of those other training providers and evaluate them.
And someone asked here if they had limits to what training they could do on Pluralsight. So your online training is unlimited. You can knock yourself out. We have some big super users in there. So there is absolutely no limit. The limit is you. Whatever time you can dedicate it to it is up to you. There is a question I want to address, and it was upvoted. So I suspect there's a few people in this position where they are in the IT group, but they're being reclassified. So they fall outside of the purview of having access to this fund and whether or not they can have access. So this is something that is a little bit above my pay grade, but Isa, I believe they should activate their account now and access it. And if they're still in that block of having the ability to access, I presume that these are perhaps IT fives, but I'm not completely sure. So I'm going to put my email in the chat. I don't want to misspeak though, so I don't want to, just let me add my email into the chat. I'm going to ask that folks in that position, if they could email me. And because I suspect that it may be a bit more nuanced, and I don't want to give a blanket answer that is misleading or incorrect. That way we can sort of have a back and forth. I can get some more information, and then I can bring this to the executive if there's a decision to be made.
I'm seeing some questions related to instructor-led. So maybe what we can do is we can jump to the second half of the presentation. I'll keep it short and tight, but maybe we'll address some of those questions that you have. And then we are going to reserve some Q&A time before we end the session today. So you can raise your hand or keep submitting questions in the Q&A so that we can get to those as well after this a second part. So give me some grace for a second here. I'm going to share my screen. And maybe I'll just introduce myself first. So my name is Isa David. I am Director of Digital Talent Development in the Digital Community Management Office at Treasury Board Secretariat. Like I mentioned earlier, we work very, very closely with the PIPS Union to co-manage the IT Training and Development Fund. There are 3 types of learning opportunities that are available through the IT fund. So Kyle just did a really great job of walking you through all of the self-paced training that you have available to you through Navigar and the resources you can leverage to get support on that. The union is mainly responsible for the Navigar platform and the maintenance. On our side at Treasury Board, we focus more on managing all of the instructor-led training and certification exam vouchers. So I'm going to walk you through those 2 other modalities very quickly. So for instructor-led training, you have access to through talent.canada.ca. You can go peruse it now if you want to find it. If I have a minute, I'll share my screen and walk you through it myself. But there is towards the bottom of the page, there's a dedicated link to the IT Community Training and Development Fund. If you click on that, you can access the list of instructor-led training, which are dedicated group offerings just for GC IT classified employees. So exclusive for those that benefit from the IT training fund. And if you peruse those offerings, we've got, oh, I should pull up my notes here because I had them written down. We have a few different courses right now, a lot related to AI at the moment. It is AI Learning Week in the Government of Canada. But you have new offerings that are added regularly to that site. And you simply need to fill out a GC form to apply for a seat to that specific training that you're interested in. And typically, once the application period closes, I believe within approximately a week or so, you should get a response to that request. Now, our training partners for instructor-led training are Global Knowledge, Learning Tree, which you probably already know, and that offer a really wide array of training topics. We also offer training through the University of Ottawa's IBM Cyber Range and the Canadian Centre for Cybersecurity, and Simon Fraser University also offers, they deliver our Tech to Exec leadership development program as well. Now on the page, there is a sign up for notifications link. So if you don't want to go back to the site to peruse it to see what's new, you can sign up there and get an email anytime there's a new course added to the site. So that way you can stay up to date. Some of the courses are a day, some are boot camps, some are certification boot camps, for example. So they might be 3 to 5 days. And like I said, we have a leadership development program that's a little bit longer. So you can look at those different opportunities directly on the site. Now, on that site, there's also what we call a choose your own course option. We recognize that you have a wide array of skill development needs or aspirations in the community. And so we wanted to leave some flex for the niche needs outside of the priority training domains that the Joint Committee establishes every year. And so the choose your own course, essentially, if you go to that page, it tells you that you can peruse the public offerings of both Learning Tree and Global Knowledge. And if there are any courses there that meet your needs, you can fill out our form and tell us, I want to take this course on that date through the application form. And we can send you a voucher code to book your seat for that course, which is not exclusively for GCIT employees, but is still available to you. And so you have no out-of-pocket costs. You use the code to book for and pay for your seat. So really, really interesting option that I want to make sure everybody is aware of. Now, the other modality I want to make sure everybody is aware of is the certification exam vouchers. So it's really important to us in the Digital Community Management Office that you have industry recognized certifications that can really help boost your resume and can really help attest to your technical skills. And so again, on talent.canada.ca, you can fill out our GC form, which is relatively light, and let us know which certification exam you would like to take, and how you prepared for it. So you do not have to take X course to do the exam. We recognize that you may do that training through Navigar. You may do an instructor-led training boot camp. You may have acquired the knowledge and skills through experience. You may have self-studied. You may be retaking the exam. All of those options are fine. As long as you can demonstrate that you feel well equipped to take the exam. And there's no preset list of, exactly which exams you can take for two reasons. One, through our partners, we have access to a really large array of certification exams. And we also want to make sure that we're not too prescriptive in the options available to you. It does happen where you may request an exam, you may reach out to us and say, I'd like to take this exam, and we don't have access to it. We do include that in our joint reflection with the committee to see if there's other partners we should and need to add for specific certifications. But some examples of really popular ones we're seeing this year: Azure Fundamentals, Azure Data Fundamentals, AI, M365, all of those very popular, obviously. Also some AWS certifications, CISP, ITIL, CompTIA, PMP. Those are all very popular ones, but there's a, a good array of options that you have available to you. So I must promote quickly also, aside from talent.canada.ca, we also have a GC Exchange space dedicated to the IT fund. So on the TBS side, we're also providing, some FAQs, some general information, and within that space, we have two curated pages. One is, hey, if you need to beef up your skills on accessibility, we curated a page where we did the legwork for you to let you know all of the accessibility related training available, either self-paced or instructor-led. So that's good to know. But we also have a dedicated page on artificial intelligence, which is a hot topic, of course, but also it's AI Learning Week in the Government of Canada. So in honor of that, we wanted to make sure that in addition to the more foundational training that CSPS offers, that we provided you with a list of advanced AI training that you can access for free through the IT training fund. We also have some AI focused instructor led training that are up on the Talent platform as well at the moment. So we will be sure on our side to share the deck as well. So you have all of the important links there. I know my team's in chat as well, and we'll be able to share some of those key links with you. And our iCommunity box is the best way to reach out to me and my team. If you have any questions related to the instructor-led training or certification exams, it'll be our pleasure to address those questions at any time. I think I'm done.
Sorry, I just wanted to jump in. It seems that folks were saying they can't view the chat. So I don't know if that we were kind of working in the back end to see if that could be corrected. Kyle, any word on that?
I mean, the message I see is that the message you sent to people was just to host some panelists, and the one that I sent was to everybody. Exactly. So everyone should be able to see the
link. Choose the drop down. Hosted panelists. That's the only option.
I can send messages to everybody as the host.
But in the meantime, I wanted to raise a question that came up and I answered it. But I'd like Isa, but I'd like you to weigh in. So some folks were asking if there was dedicated work time that was part of the agreement, and I stated it's not something that's implicitly part of this training fund per se, though it's encouraged.
Absolutely.
So is that a safe way to put it?
So I would say designed into your collective agreement, but I would assume any collective agreement is the notion of having some sort of dedicated training time. naturally is on both sides, both the union and the employer. We encourage managers to make sure that you have the ability to take some time as part of your work responsibilities for training. That said, on both sides, we want to make sure that you have options on that front. So, one, it is beginning of fiscal year, PMA time, learning plan time, great opportunity to have those conversations with your managers about how to best balance training time and work responsibilities. You can include in your learning plan some specific training or specific training time that you want to formalize and document. But outside of that, like maybe you want to take a certain certification, not because it serves you in your current job, but it serves your career aspirations. We want to support you in that too. So outside of work hours, you can also choose to access all of the training through Navigar. You can, use the choose your own course option for like public offerings outside of for instructor-led training outside of your work hours. You can book whatever time and day you want for your certification exam, so you have that flexibility. But yes, I strongly encourage you, as part of your beginning of year, mid-year, end of year PMA discussions, have those conversations with your managers.
Also, just wanted to reiterate, because this question came up again, just to reiterate why that you should use a personal email to access Navigar and connect to all your online training. If you're in Navigar already and not using a personal email, just reach out to our support. We will sort you out. And I say personal, it's really non-work email. So please use a non-work email. Just want to reiterate. Also want to reiterate that the functionality with Zoom is not allowing us. Typically, we do this where we can upload our documents to the chat. So even if you can't use the chat, you can pull the documents. It's not letting us do this today. Not sure why. And so we will share the presentations with you in the recording. So everyone who's registered, everyone who's here today will get a recording of the session and will get the presentations with it as well. So no worries.
Yeah, thanks for the grace. There is a question that I saw. So on the personal email front, also, some people aren't comfortable using their personal email for whatever reason, and that's okay. Just remember, you can create a Gmail that's only used for, your Navigar access, for example.
And PIPS also provides free PIPS
Yes.
email to use as well. So we
Yeah.
have those links in our support page as well for you to get access.
Good. Great. Okay, we're scrolling through questions to see what else.
Yeah.
I think people can also raise their hands, Laura, if I'm not mistaken, if they have a question.
I don't know, Kyle. I'm not sure. Today, I'm not sure of anything. So I'm not going to actually make that assumption that folks can raise their hands. I don't think they can, because it's a webinar, so people won't be able to speak.
I think I can allow to talk manually if we'd like to.
Yeah.
But, if that's something you'd like to do, I've got 2 raised hands. If I can go to them if you'd prefer, but also we can take them in QA. What would you prefer?
Oh, you have 2 raised hands. Okay, so there's one question here I'll answer, and then we can go to the raised hands. So someone was asking about funding for a master's degree. That doesn't fall over the spirit of the IT training fund.
Right.
And so kind of wanting to reiterate, the reason why there's a 2-pronged approach was so that everybody could get access to training as a foundation, which you can only do with an online delivery mechanism, right? You're not going to, if you look at the training fund and divide it per IT group member, it's about $220, which isn't going to get you anything. So this way, with online training delivery, you're getting probably about $1,800 of training. And then you also, on top of that, have this additional training that's available through the instructor-led, the Treasury Board, through the digital talent platform. So that's why we went with this blended approach. So something like a master's degree wouldn't fall under this. The other thing that's really important to remember is this training is supposed to be supplemental. So it's not meant to replace departmental training. And this is where I think, Isa can speak to this, but if your departmental training is being replaced by that training fund, that's not actually how it's supposed to happen. And that should be probably brought to either your IT group executive's attention, and then they can raise it. But that's something else that's really important to consider. So, for example, funding for a master's degree to me sounds like it falls under departmental training.
Yeah, or personal. So
Personal.
there is an education fund
Mhm.
normally that could be part of your discussions with your manager as an option. I will just add to the question on the master's degree, because on our side it's a question we get every so often, is like for certifications, it's really to pay for exams. Sometimes we get asked, can you pay for my membership fee for PMP or whatever it is? That is not the intent of the fund either. So we don't pay for membership fees, but we can pay for the exam itself as part of the fund options. Okay, we can take some hands now, I think.
Okay. The first hand I have raised is Elaine Devine. I'm just going to click the allow to talk button and you can ask your question. So if Elaine is here, you should. Oh, I can see you there, Elaine. You should just be able to talk if you're unmuted. Oh, if you're unmuted, we still can't hear you there, Elaine. Okay, maybe we'll just give you 1 second. I'll just go to my next hand. Oh, I can see it connecting to audio now from on Elaine's device. We'll just give it maybe 1 more second. Oh, and now you're muted. And if you come off mute, you should be good to go, Elaine. Can I just hit a little button to ask you to unmute? Hopefully that should let you unmute your device and then you can ask a question. Okay, maybe there's just some technical problems. Zoom's having a day. So I'll just pause you there and I'll go over to Teresa DiCarano and I'll allow you to talk as well there, Teresa. I'll just ask you to unmute. Is there any questions in the Q&A we can maybe answer?
Yes, hi.
Oh, there we go.
I'm coming from the vendor community. One of the questions I had was often we have an entire team that's trained for more like IT management topics like business architecture, IA training, that type of thing, AI training.
Mhm.
Does that fall under the fund, or is it more like individual people? And
So
Middle
yeah,
ground.
I'm happy to take that one because we often talk with the training teams in some organizations. So it's kind of related to what Laura said earlier about like the employer or the departmental responsibility. The fund is not meant to replace, but rather complement or augment departmental training budgets and training needs. So the guidance I generally give to IT group members that ask this question is, if it's a requirement to do your job, like for example, some departments require that all of their IT classified employees have ITIL certification. That's an employer responsibility. If it's required by you, or if it's needed to do your job, or if it's very like foundational type training, we consider that a departmental responsibility or an employer responsibility. So even on our side, when we see trends from the same course being requested from the same employees of the same department, we usually reach out to that department because that's a trend that tells us this is a team training. So this is not what the fund is intended to support.
okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. Any other questions, either in chat or raise your hand? We're happy to take them. I don't know, Laura, if you want to talk a little bit, or Kyle, if you want to talk a little bit more about Go Fluent. You glazed through that a little bit, maybe too quickly, and I saw a couple questions specific to that.
It was about access, and so you access that through the Skillsoft page. So there's a banner at the top of the page that says Go Fluent, and you click through. So once you've activated your Skillsoft account, you click through to it.
Yeah, and just again, just this kind of that full process. So you make your Navigar account, log into it, you set your job, and then on your learning plan or elsewhere, you'll see content from Skillsoft. You just click on it. It prompts you up on their webpage to enter in your email and complete your account. And then once that's done and you've logged in using those credentials on the main page for Precipio or for Skillsoft, you'll see a banner, and that banner is going to be how you access GoFluent. Oh, yeah. I can also see Danny. I'm just replying back to you there on support, and that's actually a good thing I might just mention is that if you try to make your Navigar account and you get an error saying error pre-sign up, that there's a problem and you weren't able to create your account, please contact support. A lot of the time, that's going to come down from the fact you're trying to create your Navigar account using a personal email that we don't have on file. So we need to link you to the IT group so that we know you're one of our members. So the way you do that is you just go to the new PIPS website here. You use your work email, and then you make an account, and then you can update your personal email of choice, and you can change that to whatever you like. And that's one of the things that will get you your account activated.
Yeah, and there's a couple of things because I was replying to Danny in the Q&A, so I don't know if this is the Danny you were referring to, but there's also like if you're a new IT member and we haven't received that update from the federal government, you might be in that sort of no man's land, like you're a new member, but you're not showing in our database as being part of the IT group. That can be a delay as well. So if you're running into any kind of situation like that as well, reach out to our support team and we'll help you. But as Kyle pointed out, the PIPS website now has a member portal. So you can actually go in there, add your personal email and give it 5 minutes and you'll be able to go into Navigar. So you don't have that. It used to be a manual process, which was quite delayed. So now it's live virtually.
Yeah, since we have a little bit of luxury of time, maybe I'll quickly just share my screen.
Oh, to show the GoFluent banner there?
Oh, yes. No, you start with that. Go for it. And then I'll share on my side.
Okay, amazing. So I just wanted to show people. So this right now I'm logged into, this is Precipio. One of the things you want to make sure is that you're logging into the Navigar Precipio page. So that's why I said you want to log into Navigar first, then you click on a course content, make your account and get directed. So when you're successfully logged in to our page within Skillsoft, this is the banner you're looking for. Big and blue, GoFluent, Accelerate Language Learning. And then from here, you just click Learn More and it'll load up. And then from here, you can dive right into training and go from there. That's all I wanted to show off. Thanks a lot for that. Go ahead.
No worries. I'm also going to take everybody on a little bit of a field trip just to talent.canada.ca. So I want to make sure everybody can find what I was just talking about. So if you go to talent.canada.ca, that's the talent platform. You don't need to log in, though we do encourage everybody in the digital community to have their profile in the platform. But for the IT fund, if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see here there's a page dedicated to the IT Community Fund. You click on Learn More, and here you have some general information about the fund, but also those 3 modalities that we've been showing you today. So for instructor-led training, you can browse the training opportunities, and these are the courses that are open for application right now. And then you see here at the bottom that choose your own course option that I mentioned. Just click on Learn More and Apply. You'll get all the details on each of those training opportunities, and you can fill out the GC form to apply. And then if I go back to the fund page, you have the sign up for updates that I was mentioning earlier. So if you want to get an email to get notified when there's new instructor-led training posted, you just add your email there. And then for certification exam vouchers, it says request a voucher. You get the general information that I just shared with you, and then you have the request a voucher button that will take you to a GC form. So pretty straightforward there. And then, like I said, we also, in the slide deck, you also have the link to the GC Exchange page where we have more like FAQs and things like that, more information as well.
And it's a work email for the GC run. I see this question here that was asked in the Q&A. Use a work email?
No, we suggest you use personal email.
Oh, you suggest personal as well. Okay.
So it's kind of a two-sided question because I think some people may be wondering about the talent platform. When you create a profile on the talent platform, I think they actually, no, actually you have both options because even someone who is external who wants to apply for an IT position can also create a profile. So it's up to you. But in the form, Amy, we ask for the personal also so that we can reconcile with PIPs.
Yes, in the form we ask for your GC and your preferred. And then talent platform, we suggest personal just so it follows you.
Perfect.
Someone's saying here, doesn't GC Digital use a GC key to sign in?
Not for long. From what I hear, they're working on there's a different sign-in solution being worked on, but it is connected to. It's not GC key because external people can create a talent profile. But my team doesn't own the platform, so I don't have all of the details specific to that. But what I can say is you do not need to be signed into the platform to apply for training. One thing I forgot to mention, though, a question we do have in our form is, have you activated your Navigar account? So do know that there are not a ton of prerequisites required so that you can apply for training, but one that is required is that you have to have activated your Navigar account, because we want to make sure if you're taking advantage of all the great training, instructor-led training and certification opportunities, you're also taking advantage of the 40,000 plus courses you have available to you. Courses, labs, ebooks, like there's a lot available through Navigar. And we do validate with PIPs if you have activated your account.
And just to answer Jonathan's question regarding the links, the live links are in the deck. So you'll be able to extract those and create that cheat sheet for yourself.
And then I also got a hand up. I don't know if Sabrina Chong still wants to speak, but I saw a hand up there earlier. I'll just give you a second. I'm going to put your hand back up if that's the case. And if not, then I think we should be good. No, maybe the question was answered. Oh. Perfect. Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. And we'll keep doing these quarterly as well. And, we sent out a newsletter to provide you with support. I noticed somebody mentioned that they wanted to access the providers outside of Navigar, and they didn't find the web app intuitive. And apologies for that. It is a web application, so constantly evolving. We're actually pushing out a whole bunch of UI UX changes, probably tomorrow, in which we're including a tutorial as well. But all of those rates were negotiated through Navigar and PIPs. So you need to access them through Navigar. That's how that works. And you can just click on, like, there's a different access points within the web app to go directly to the vendor. So, you do need to go through Navigar for that.
And I can see everyone coming into the support box there. So if you put questions towards support, those will be taken care of right away. We'll get to those. Any questions you may have and any access concerns you have there too.
Yeah, and I gave someone my personal email regarding that question of being in the IT group but excluded, so that I can get more details, so I can ensure that I answer that question properly. I don't want to lead you astray. But thank you, everyone. Thank you, Treasury Board. I love that we've decided to do this together so that you can get, we always tried to give like an overview of Treasury Board and the great work that they're doing, but we can't possibly be as comprehensive as them. So I think this is a great way to inform you all. And we'll do this every quarter because there's always new people joining the group, IT group, but also I think new people learning about the fund and or just want some more information. So we're always here to help.
Take
Thank
care,
you very
everybody.
much. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
coming. Take care,
care.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.